Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala of University Grant Commission of India. I am Dr. Sohail Akhtar, Assistant Professor from Department of Pharmaceutics, Faculty of Pharmacy, Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi. Today we are going to discuss about a module, types of different oral control devices under the paper Novel Drug Delivery System 1. So students, let's see what we are going to learn in this particular module. In this particular module, first of all, we will see the different types of oral control devices. Majorly, they are matrix oral control device, that is also called as monolithic type, and another one is encapsulation coating material type, or it is also called reservoir devices. So matrix oral control system are one of the most common form of the monolithic devices which are intended to control the release of the drug. Matrix system is comparatively known to be easy to fabricate when compared with the other devices for oral delivery. It has an advantage of no incidental dose dumping as compared to the reservoir one. In matrix devices, the drug is usually presented in dispersed form within the carrier or the polymeric matrix system, and then further it compressed in a tablet form. Okay, so the monolithic device are usually preferred for incorporation of drug which are required in large dose, longer biological half-life, poor or irregular pattern of absorption. This is basically the basic of while you are designing or of a controlled drug delivery device for oral route. So oral control drug delivery device categorized into two major categories. One is matrix oral control device, which is also called as monolithic type, and the another one is encapsulated controlled drug delivery device or called reservoir type. In both the reservoir based or monolithic or matrix based system, drugs are non-covalently contained or embedded within the polymer matrix. It is clearly indicate that in the encapsulated one, mostly the drug are dissolved in the core within the polymeric matrix, and in the matrix oral control or monolithic type, drug is majorly disposed within the core of the polymeric matrix. First one, that is matrix oral control system, and also called as monolithic system. Basically, in this case, monolithic device are used which is intended to control the release of the drug. Drug is presented in dispersion, as I already told you. It is not in solubilized form. Drug is in the form of dispersion. In this case, because drug is not dissolved in the form of solution, drug is dispersed. So for the release of drug, it is very important that that polymeric matrix should start eroding or dissolving or started dissolving or degrading. Then only the drug will release. Okay, so by this mechanism, by this system particularly, incident of dose dumping is what? Dose dumping is sudden release of lot of drug at a point or in a certain time. This is not happening in this case. So this is the advantage. Matrix oral control or monolithic system, this kind of device is meant for the drug which are used to deliver in large dose, should have a longer biological half-life, have poor or irregular pattern of absorption. It is also used for very potent drug. So for those drugs which is really having poor biological activity and blood level relationship, this kind of design is good in that case. So in this case, in this such monolithic matrix oral control system, release of drug is depend on initial drug concentration in polymer matrix, yes, presence of equisoluble excipient, how much excipient, that is water soluble, drug solubility itself, and drug loading, wetting property or soiling property of the polymer, porous nature of the polymer, and overall composition of the matrix. So presence of how it will help. Drug concentration is high, obviously drug concentration is directly proportional to the release if drug has some point of or some solubility. Again, in the same way, if the presence of equisoluble excipient is more, release will be more. Drug loading, if the drug loading will be high, release rate to some extent, to some certain period of time, release will be faster. Release of drug from hydrophilic matrix involved. So in this case, there's a three simultaneous steps involved while drug releasing happen. Diffusion of the surrounding liquid through the matrix, Drug is not dissolving in nature, so keep in mind it will be dissolution. Okay, so the second stage is dissolution, and the final stage is release of drug through the channel or pore formed. This is giving you, here is a diagrammatic presentation how a monolithic matrix oral control system look like. So the outermost layer is a diffusion front, then afterward it is the diffusion front B, and the core is soluble front, which is the matrix, and the gel layer. So let's in the continuation of what we are discussing, let's discuss more on that. Matrix oral control system, that is monolithic type. It has different components like swelling front. As a dissolution, what is this? It is actually as the swelling, as the dissolution medium entered into the matrix, the state of polymer change from crystalline to gel form. Okay, so this is one mechanism that involves first. Later, erosion front. In this case, separation matrix of solvent from the gelling layer. And the third one is a diffusion front. It is situated between the first two front and also divided into two zones. One is of dissolved drug in gelling layer, and the another one is undissolved drug in the matrix area. So let's see what are the advantage with this matrix oral control system or monolithic system. This system is easy to manufacture. It requires less amount of total drug, suitable for high molecular weight components or compounds or drug, versatile and cost effective. It provides, because it's oral, so it's a common advantage, that is patient compliance, increase stability of drug. There's no chances or very less chances of dose dumping, therefore low toxicity due to slow absorption of drug. Next is it also reduces local or systemic adverse effect. It maintains the therapeutic drug concentration for longer time, because obviously it is a controlled drug delivery system, and therefore improve efficacy of treatment, increase the viability of drug, uniform and optimal plasma drug concentration over a period of time, and it also provides a special effect, for example morning air of the arthritis through bedtime dosing. There are some advantages, as I told you earlier, with matrix oral control drug delivery system. Most important advantage, what was that? It was no chances of dose dumping. So there's no chances or issue of concern of the toxicity of high dose sudden release of the drug. However, this kind of design have its own disadvantages, and that are no flexibility in the dose of the drug, you cannot control it. Equal soluble drug tend to burst from the matrix. Yes, so equal soluble drug cannot be designed in this way. There is a poor correlation in vitro and in vivo performance, so it is again a problem. Release rate of drug change with diffusional resistance equals root of time and effective area of the diffusion front. So in this system, from this oral matrix oral control system, achieving zero order release kinetic is not possible. While we are designing oral control drug delivery system, our main intention is to design the system that can release in zero order way. Another problem what we are facing in matrix oral control system is blending problem from drug with the given polymer matrix. So uniform mixing is not sometime achievable or not sometime possible with such kind of drug and the polymer which is normally used in this system. Matrix oral control system, other advantages are risk of dose dumping, yet it is still, although we say in theoretical term that it is not possible, but yes, it is possible to some extent. Recovery of drug is difficult in the case of poisoning. Obviously, this is the problem with any oral controlled drug delivery system or any oral system. Once it is inside of your body, you cannot eliminate if there is a poisoning. Although because of its oral nature of delivery, patient compliance is good, yet it cannot be given to the kids, very young kids, those who have the problem with the throat or engulfing the material, very old age patients, and with those patients who are having the problem of nausea and vomiting. And in such formulation, we have noticed earlier that there is a rapid development of tolerance with the drug given by this route. So, going into the detail of the manufacturing components, here we are going to discuss the different type of polymer used for monolithic system. They are non-biodegradable polymer, biodegradable polymer, and hydrogel type. So in non-biodegradable polymer, the polymers which are used are ethyl cellulose, cellulose acetate, polyethylene vinyl acetate polymer, polyvinyl chloride, polyethylene urethane, and polydimethyl siloxane. In the category of biodegradable polymer, basically it is polyglycolides, that is called as PGA, polylactase PLA and their combination, that is PLGA, polycaprolactone, and other polyesters. Under the category of hydrogel, we use polymer like cross-link polyvinyl pyrrolidone, cross-link polyvinyl alcohol, and polyhydroxyethylene methacrylate, and some other polyacrylamides. Under the category of mucoadhesive polymers, we prefer or use polyacrylate, that is commonly called as carbopol. So there are different series of carbopol we can use from there, and methyl cellulose of different viscosity, like here 400 and 4000 are most preferable, sodium carboxymethyl cellulose, and tragacanth. Under the category of soluble polymers, we use HPMC of different viscosity, like 2500, 4000, and 15000. Polyvinyl alcohol, polyvinyl pyrrolidone, and polyethylene glycol. From the natural gum, crya gum, guar gum, and xanthan gum, these are used. Some other miscellaneous which are used for this purpose are agar, alginate, polysaccharides of mannose and galactose. Chitosan is also used, and some other modified starch. For example, for example, the starch of bora rice, which is an Indian variety of rice. It is also reported in the literature that is used in this case. Classification of matrix oral. So here is the basic classification of such matrix type oral controlled drug delivery system. Depending on the material which are used to retard or to make the drug release controlled, they are either hydrophobic matrix plastic matrix based, lipid matrix based, hydrophilic matrix based, biodegradable matrix based, and mineral matrix based. So let's come first to the hydrophobic matrix or plastic matrix based system. It was first introduced in 1959. In this case, the sustained release of oral matrix system is usually obtained by mixing the drug with hydrophobic or inert polymer. Okay, how it can be? With thorough mixing, later it is compressed in the form of tablet. Now, the controlled release of the drug in this case is often produced because of the diffusion process, where the dissolved drug gets leached out of the network of the channel or pore formed between the compacted polymer matrix itself. So here, in this case, the rate controlling step is the penetration of surrounding medium of fluid or biological fluid into the polymeric matrix. Now, the possible mechanism involved in the drug release of such type system is basically the diffusion. So, these matrix systems become inert in the presence of gastric fluid and the water. Lipid 1, in the previous one we have seen it is made by inert hydrophobic polymer. Instead of polymer in lipid matrix type, we use lipid wax, which is actually a retardant. You already know wax cannot be dissolved in water or biological fluid. So in this case, the release of drug from these matrix occurs mostly by two processes. First, erosion, and second, the pore diffusion formation. So the release of drug depends not only on the total insoluble polymeric matrix material, but also on the composition of gastric fluid itself. Example here is carnauba wax with stearic acid and ostralyl acids, which can be used as the retardant base for many oral control matrix formulation. It is very common in use. The next category in this one is hydrophilic matrix. This is widely used for the preparation of oral control drug delivery system because they are often having several advantages, like low cost, polymer having low cost, desirable pattern of drug release can be achieved. These kind of matrix, polymeric matrix is well widely acceptable by the regulatory authorities. The drug in this hydrophilic polymeric matrix 1 formed with the highly gelling capability and retardant base of the particular important in the area of control release. This matrix generally include a well mixed complex of one or more drug. Yes, you can deliver one or more drug together with the hydrophilic polymer or gelling agents, for example, soluble control polymeric system or polymers. Next one is mineral matrix. In this case, it consists of polymer obtained from mineral origin. Simply, the most commonly example of mineral origin matrix is alginic acid, which is obtained from the species of brown seaweeds, which belongs to the family Phaeophyllaceae. It is a hydrophilic carbohydrate prepared by the addition of dilute alkali. Let's discuss more about the biodegradable polymer. At the words itself indicate biodegradable. So bio means life and degradation. So something which is degraded within our body easily. The degradation might be from the enzymatic involvement, might be because of the biological fluid of our body, that is called hydrolytic degradation, and might be from microorganisms. So microbial degradation is possible. So these are most preferred because they cannot remain within the body, so the issue of toxicity is not there. So this system usually include polymer comprises of several monomers which are linked together by functional group with the unstable linkage in the form of backbone. They biologically erode or degrade within the cell or within the body by enzyme or by non-enzymatic process. As I already told you, what are the different process may involve. The polymer break down into the oligomers first. Oligomers is the small form of polymeric form. So monomer can be from 3 up to 10. It is called oligomer. And ormomers, and then further leads to the metabolism to the monomeric form, excretion from the body. The example generally are from natural origin, and that include protein and polysaccharides. They may be modified or completely synthetic polymers. Previous category you have seen, it is based on the solubility of the matrix system, how the drug is dispersed and dissolved. Here the next category is depend on porosity of the matrix. It can be microporous and nanoporous. Word itself indicate that pore size is big, medium or very small. If the pore size is in between 0.1 to 1 micron, it is called macroporous. Okay, so it means it is a larger. Okay, so it is for the bigger molecule to diffuse out. Microporous, in this case the pore size is ranging from 50 to 200 angstrom. In the case of nanoporous system, non-porous system has no pore. Molecules diffuse through the network meshes. In this case, only the polymeric caps exist and no pore phase is present. Depending on the porosity of the matrix, this system of oral control drug delivery system can be macroporous system, microporous system, and there is a no pore, so we can say sometime in such category we can say non-porous system as well. This is another major type that you had learned in the beginning. This is here, it is reservoir type devices for oral controlled delivery system. In the matrix one, you already know that drug is not in solubilized state, it is in the form of dispersion or suspension. In this reservoir type, drug is solubilized, so it is always in solubilized portion within the core, and outside there is a semi-permeable membrane, also called as the retardant drug release retardant membrane. Encapsulation coating control devices or reservoir devices. Rate control in such system depend on property of polymer, so polymer composition and molecular weight, thickness of that coating layer, and physiochemical property of drug itself. For example, solubility, drug particle size, molecular weight, partition coefficient, few of them. From the encapsulation or reservoir type oral control device system, the rate of drug release is governed by fixation first law of diffusion. And what is this fixation first law of diffusion? Is rate of flux of diffusion is equal to d into dc upon dx. dc upon dx is the concentration gradient of the drug across the diffusion path, with thickness is dx, and the d is the diffusion coefficient. So diffusion coefficient is a constant parameter. It means the rate of diffusion is directly proportional to the drug concentration gradient across the diffusion layer, and inversely proportional to the thickness of the membrane. In this case, in the reservoir system, the core is soluble. However, the outer layer has a coating. So this coating is of different type. What are the different type of coating? It can be organic coating. In this organic coating, the polymer macromolecular dissolve created having high viscosity. During the process of solvent evaporation, an intermediate gel-like phase is obtained. After complete solvent evaporation, a polymeric film is obtained, which is covering the core of the drug, which is very much clear in the figure as well. This is about the designing. We are discussing about the designing of encapsulation type or reservoir type oral control system. So in this case, aqueous coating is another steps. Film formation from aqueous dispersion is more complex process. This is well known, okay? Because polymer coating by organic is easier relative to the aqueous dispersion. So during the drying stage or during the drying process of aqueous dispersion, polymer particles come into contact with each other in a close packing pattern or order. So high interfacial surface tension that exists between the air and the water leads to the formation of a layer of polymer sphere filled with the water. This is how it is happening. So the particle diffusion or coalescence or aggregation of particle is then possible when the capillary force are strong enough. Usually, the coating process is performed at a sufficient high temperature to ensure the softness of the discrete polymer particles. So keep in mind that the temperature should not be very high, but temperature should be high enough for the evaporation of the aqueous phase. So the use of aqueous polymer dispersion is preferred for the pharmaceutical coating because its dissolution or decompression is relatively easy. Organic coating present many disadvantages compared to the aqueous polymer coating, as that it depends of the viscosity is very important in the organic one, and also the molecular weight of the polymer itself. The other disadvantage of organic coating, one of the very important one, is the residual solvent. You know that you cannot dissolve organic polymer directly into the water, so you need to dissolve in the organic phase. That organic solvent need to be evaporated during the process of coating. Sometimes it remained there in minor amount, but according to the regulatory consideration, this must be within a permissible limit. On the other hand, these organic solvents, most of them have environmental pollution and explosion hazard. Against to these concern and problem of the organic coating, polymer dispersion of aqueous one are characterized by or having low viscosity of high solid content, leading to the decrease in coating process time. Now earlier we learned about the matrix type devices for oral control. Now the another category, which is reservoir type, also called as encapsulation coating control system. In this, the aqueous dispersion can be additional ingredient, surfactant act as a solubilizer during the production process of reservoir device. We also use anti-taking agents that is used to enhance coating process and film property in reservoir device, and we also use plasticizers. Why? Because it promotes the polymer particle coalescence, softening the particle and reducing the minimum film formation temperature. What are the different polymer used here? I am going to elaborate in this slide of encapsulation, coating, control or reservoir devices. Polymer for reservoir based control devices are: diffusion control one is non-degradable, which one is silicon and cross-linked polyvinyl alcohol. Chemical control one is mostly it is biodegradable. We use natural one, collagen is example, gelatin is another example. And the synthetic one what we use is it is actually the lactic acid derivatives, PLA, polylactides, PGA, polyglycolides, and the combination of combination of LA and GA, which is called PLGA, polylactic acid glycolic acid copolymer. Others are polycaprolactone and some other polyphosphoesters and polyphosphoragens. These polymers, which is in the synthetic one, mostly they are biodegradable and biocompatible as well. So there are another example which are a smartly designed polymer showing the responsive to a certain situations like temperature and the pH, mostly temperature and pH responsive. There are other as well, like difference in the ionic strength that also trigger ionic strength, redox potential, some biochemical agents, some enzymes, or even to ultrasound. So here the example of thermosensitive polymers are NIPAM, which is actually poly N isopropyleclamide, polyethylene oxide, polypropylene oxide, polyethylene oxide tricopolymer. The another one is PEG PLA PEG. So this is a tricopolymer of PLA with polyethylene glycol. pH responsive polymer example are acrylic acids and methacrylic acid. So from the category of non-biodegradable polymer, which is more commonly used in diffusion control system, in this, since polymer are non-biodegradable in nature, there is usually no initial burst release absorb. In this case, the release kinetic of the drug is determined by thickness of the polymer membrane, permeability across the polymer membrane, the release area, and the solubility of drug. These non-biodegradable polymer that has been used most commonly in such design are silicon and cross-link polyvinyl alcohol. These polymers have been approved by the FDA and considered to be safe for the biological system. Polyvinyl alcohol is permeable to various lipophilic drugs, so it is often used as a control membrane in the release area. The thickness of polyvinyl alcohol layer can be toned to achieve the desired release kinetic. And now come to the silicon. Silicon can be used as an impermeable or permeable material depending upon its thickness and what kind of grade you are using. So the biodegradable polymer, as I discussed earlier, basically they release the drug based on the mechanism of erosion and biodegradation. Degradation could happen, but the major mechanism is erosion itself. They are basically biodegradable polymer are from natural source or maybe the synthetic. Natural source biodegradable polymer are collagen. Gelatin is also semi-synthetic, you can say, but basically it is from the natural source as well. Numerous advantage of using collagen and gelatin. Why? They are basically biocompatible, non-toxic, easy of isolation and purification to the large extent. And however, there is some issue, like if you are using collagen, it can be immunogenic in some group of patients, so that is its limited utility. Some other disadvantage, not only the immunogenicity, but the other disadvantage is poor mechanical strength, difficulty of developing a reproducible release pattern, which is quite difficult. The another example beside collagen was listed here is gelatin. It is a thermoresponsive polymer. It is widely used for drug delivery because of its easy availability, low. It is relatively less antigenic than the collagen. Okay, so this is another advantage. It is economical to manufacture. However, it has some other problem, like gelatin is a cross-linked in the making of formulation. Gelatin is cross-linked with glutaraldehyde, which can bind to and inactivate some kind of protein drugs. So when you are delivering a protein drug using gelatin, be careful because you cannot use glutaraldehyde at that moment. This is basically summarizes or a brief about the biodegradable synthetic polymers. Most of the polymers used here are from polyester type, phosphoesters, polyanhydrides, and phosphorogens. From the polyester category, most commonly one are PLA, PGA, and PLGA. These polymers, what I am talking here is they are all approved from the FDA or different regulatory agency all over the world for to be used or used as in clinical purpose. Now, PLGA, PLA, and PGA, basically mostly they are used for making microspheres, but recently they are also using more and more in making nanoparticles also. And with the help nanoparticle, they can be designed for targeted delivery to a specific organ or a specific tissue. Microspheres of these materials is used or in clinical practice. Some of them are for directly injection into the eye, which is in technical term we can say that intravertical injection, or directly delivery into the tumor. They have been used for the delivery of peptide drugs. Not only for that, now they are also now used for many drugs. I can give you a best example here that PLGA, this polymer, is used in making microsphere for the depot formulation of risperidone, and it is used in the market for the clinical purpose in the case of bipolar depression and schizophrenic patients. It is marketed with the name of Risperdal Consta. Here are some of the example what we were discussing before. Liporon Depot, Zoladex, Decarpetile, and Pradal Consta. These are some of the FDA approved peptides drug delivery as well as a small molecule like risperidone delivery by using PLGA. Some of the important companies working in this area are PR Pharmaceuticals and Star Pharma. Both systems, in this case, whether it is encapsulating drug into the microparticle or nanoparticle, it increase. If you are delivering that in the nanoparticle, it increase or you can achieve a long circulation along with the long drug release profile. This allows for appropriate decrease in the toxic side effects of the drug after the administration. The drug release rate in biodegradable polymer in this case is mainly controlled by, as I already told you, the degradation of polymer. The degradation of such polymer majorly happen by erosion or hydrolysis, and or you can say by enzymatic degradation. Just considering the case of PLGA, PLGA is mainly degraded by erosion. Erosion can be bulk or from the surface as well as from the hydrolysis. So the two type of degradation such as surface and erosion can be from the surface, can be from the bulk, as I explained you. So in the surface erosion or surface degradation, the polymer matrix is progressively removed from the surface, where the polymer volume fraction remained fairly unchanged. However, in the bulk degradation pattern, no significant change occurs in the size of polymeric matrix until and unless it's fully degraded. So it's just like a cage or a house from where you are removing the material from the within the house, but the wall and everything is remain until and unless whole the component or whole the material from the house is removed. Once whole the component, everything is removed within the house, the bricks or the wall itself collapse. This is what is bulk degradation. So both the form of degradation often result in acceleration degradation product further catalyze the degradation process. It means the degraded product which is coming out during the degradation process, it further improving or accelerating the degradation rate, and they are serve as the catalyst. Therefore, it is always the initial burst release and a final burst release of the drug associated with these biodegradable material. This is environmental responsive or a smart polymer design, which is to design a oral drug delivery system or controlled drug delivery system based on environmental or physiological body physiologic responsive system. In this case, this kind of polymer, mostly these polymers are the macromolecule, and they show the response or structural change at certain environmental stimuli. For example, change in the temperature, change in pH, ionic strength, redox potential, biochemical agents, or ultrasound. So what is the application? The advantage with such system are easy of application, localized delivery to a specific site is possible, prolonged delivery period can be achieved, and therefore, because it is a targeted system, the systemic toxicity can be minimized for the drug. Now let's discuss the thermosensitive polymer. As word itself indicate that there is the structural or phase change in the polymer occurring with the change of temperature. It means it is maybe in the form of gel or solution, and then it change to another form at the body temperature or physiological temperature. Many of the polymers show, let's see, many of the polymers show abrupt change in their solubility profile upon changing the temperature. What I already had told you about this polymer. This property can be deployed to develop polymeric solution that undergoes sol to gel transition near to their lower critical solution temperature. In these kind of in designing of this kind of material or polymer are used in designing thermoresponsive or temperature responsive drug delivery system. In such, a liquid polymer drug solution is usually injected into the target site at ambient temperature. So at the body temperature, the solution or a polymeric gel is formed that entrap the drug in the matrix system and remain the drug there, and that ultimately leads to the slow or controlled release. Extended release formulation is generally achieved by the diffusion of the drug from the polymer gel. This has its own pros and cons. So disadvantage that you can achieve a control or targeted drug delivery or control release as well. However, the disadvantage with this system is that high initial burst release is seen due to the shrinkage in volume, which expel a large amount of drug initially. So now there are some polymers that is interesting to enlist here that having thermosensitive behavior. These are poly-N-isopropyl acrylamide, abbreviated as NIPAM, polyethylene oxide, polypropylene oxide, polyethylene tricopolymer, that is abbreviated as PEO, PPP, PEO, and tricopolymer of PEG, PLA, PEG. Bovine serum albumin has been shown to release gradually from a system which are made of thermoresponsive chitosan grafted with pegylated methoxychitosan, so PEG chitosan grafted polymer. The release profile has been found that there is initial burst release of this protein in 5 hours, followed by sustained and diffusion driven release for next 70 hours. This indicates that control release pattern can be achieved for delivery with the delivery of such system for the protein. One of the marketed one is Oncogel, which contain paclitaxel as a anti-cancer drug, and the carrier material, which is the thermosensitive polymer, is PLGA, PEG PLGA. And the another example is Regal. It is another marketed one formulation, and they are used for direct injection into the tumor. And the literature showed that this system released the paclitaxel over the period of 6 weeks. So a control release for longer time can be achieved. Another in the case Oncogel injection, physical target paclitaxel to the intended tumor site while limit its circulation into the biological fluid, resulting in an acceptable safety profile for this toxic anti-cancer molecule. So here is the example of pH responsive polymer. As word itself indicate, at a certain pH change, this show the structural change in the carrier system. In the disease, why it is important, there are many category of disease where there is a change in the temperature. For instance, let's say consider an example of wound. Wound has the pH of around 8, which is different than the physiological pH 7.4. Our tear has the pH of 7.4 that can be targeted as well. Tumor or cancer region always have slightly acidic pH. So these can be targeted with such kind of pH responsive polymers. Example of such polymer, the most common one is acrylic acid derivative, methacrylic acids. These kind of system, the polymer matrix swell when the ambient pH reaches around 8.5. So they are releasing the drug, or they are responsive to the pH toward the alkaline region. Another one is this kind of polymer is used to deliver the doxorubicin, and there are many development nowadays. I can give you an example like you target L or RS or S. This S type, it only start releasing the drug. It doesn't release the drug in acidic pH. However, it releases the drug at the pH 7. It is used to target the colon or a small intestine or intestinal region. Some other responsive pH responsive polymers examples are, which are biodegradable in nature, is PLA, PLGA, PEG diblock copolymer, PLGA, PEG, PLA, PLGA, PEG, PLA, PLA. It is tricopolymer pH responsive thermosensitive polymer, which is commonly used and you can find in literature for the tumor targeting. So my dear students, let's summarize this module. we learned in this module about different kind of controlled delivery devices. Okay, and these devices are basically their classification are based on their mechanism of delivery, or depend on the material which is used. For instance, diffusion control device, the basic mechanism of drug release is diffusion, and drug is basically dispersed in the water insoluble or erodible polymer. Another one is reservoir type, or in which the drug is in solubilized form. Then we learned about the mixture of reservoir and matrix, that is commonly called diffusion and dissolution control, which is another example. We learned about pH responsive system. We learned about temperature responsive controlled delivery system. These all indicate that how broad application this drug delivery system is. It can use to deliver the drug from the broad category. Basic purpose is to reduce the side effects, to improve the patient compliance, and to reduce the dosing frequency. This is very important and critically important in the drug category from the disease, like in the case of cancer therapy, in the case of cardiovascular disorders, or also important, particularly this pH responsive system is very important while designing for the metabolic disease, like in the case of drug delivery for uh, diabetes type 2. Also, it is important in delivering the drug for prolonged action or controlled drug delivery in the case of arthritis. Hope you understand well, and thank you so much for your attention.